Hey. Okay. So disclaimer before we start the video. Although I do believe that Alvis or Third Nation could be in the game, it's obviously not by the evidence that I give. I'm basically just drawing connections where there aren't any. This is just some fun ideas that I had that I think would be cool if they actually happen. So don't take these too seriously, as I have damn near no evidence for any of it. It's just something fun that I just wanted to do and see what the community thought. So that's the disclaimer. Let's actually get into it. Now, this is definitely not the first, and damn sure won't be the last speculation video on Xenoblade 3. As you saw by the title, this is just some dumbass theory that I have with little to no evidence at all. And I guess it's not much of a theory then, huh? More like speculation. It's just something fun that I wanted to talk about. Almost no evidence to back it up. I'm just hyped for this game as the rest of you are, and we're all here to have fun and brainstorm about the game. So let's keep the hype alive. In this speculation video, I'll be talking about Alvis's presence in the game and what his role could possibly be. This may not be the most wild claim, since I'm sure. Actually, you know what? God damn it! I guarantee you that others have already speculated this as well, so it might not be anything new. And again, disclaimer, all of my speculations are incredibly stupid and literally just built off hype, so there's very, very high chance that they're going to be way off and make no sense. But if one of my predictions actually turns out to be true, I'm going to lose my shit. But we're here to just have some fun, so let's have some fun. Before I actually start this though, there's something that I noticed while listening to some Torna music. The Torna Titan's wings look very, very similar to the trees on the fallen arm in this shot here. And I mean, I'm not saying something, but I'm saying something. I don't know if this has anything to do with anything. This may not mean anything. Or hell, maybe Torna could even have some connection to Xenoblade 3 and Ionios. It's just something that I noticed and wanted to mention. Also, another thing, Uni seems to be wearing Shulk's belt that he made for his replica Minato in Future Connected. Goddamn, and looking back now, every day I realize something new from the trailer that I didn't get in my initial trailer analysis, and it kind of bothers me a little bit that I didn't get to put that in the video. But anyway, let's get on to the actual bullshit theories that I have. One of the first things that I noticed was a little emblem or insignia on a 3 at the end of the trailer in the title. And that might be the same mark on some of the characters' hands, which we could also see on Lanz's chin in the flutes. If you remember, in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, each country has on their own respective titans have their own emblems, as seen in the Merc mission menus right here. Not only that, but each Xenoblade logo has had detail in it to signify major plot point in its respective game. Now for Xenoblade 1, Definitive Edition is surrounded by feathers, hinting at the importance that Hyantia and the Telethia have to not only the story, but the Bionis itself. Remember, all life was meant to be destroyed and basically recycled back to the Bionis to keep Zanza alive, and the Telethia were in charge of wiping out life to return it back to Zanza. And Telethia, just the true form of the Hyantia. And for Xenoblade X, from the best I can articulate, the X signifies the revolutionary scales. The scales are a big deal and they're a big part of Xenoblade X's lore, and the X in the logo is representing that, and the color is even the same as the default scale fuel, the light turquoise per se. And for Xenoblade 2, if you look at the 2, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see an X near the top, and that signifies Rex's half of the Aegis core crystal that Pyre gave him when she revived him. And for Torna, the emblem is just simply the emblem of country Torna. Now, it should be noted that Takahashi and his team does not do coincidences and overlook important details like that or add them with no sense of importance or meaning. They don't add details just to add details. So the emblem on the 3 has some kind of meaning, and it has a lot of importance to the overall story of Xenoblade 3. Now, back to what I'm trying to say. Assuming Kevis and Agnes have their own emblems, like the Titans do or the countries do in Xenoblade 2, we haven't seen theirs yet, and the one on the 3 could be that of a third higher power or nation that we don't know about. Considering it's literally on the fucking title, it's like right there on the title, it has some massive importance to the story that they may be saving for a plot point later in the game as like this big plot twist. So we don't know too much on that right now, but however, before continuing this thought, I want to go over some dumbass theories I have with minimal thought put into it. Again, all of this is just fun speculation that would be cool to see. I don't actually believe this to be true, although I do believe that maybe Alvis and a third nation do exist in Xenoblade 3. Just obviously not how I'm explaining them. They're obviously not going to play the roles that I'm trying to explain that they do. But in order to explain how Alvis could be in Xenoblade 3, let's talk about another important plot point that connects back to Alvis. Infamous lines in the trailer: "I refuse to believe you're him," and "They're not your friends anymore, they're just his fuel." This could actually be talking about Alvis, but I have a more fun, stupid, and totally in no way possible whatsoever actually the case idea about this. And again, before I actually explain all this, obviously this isn't actually the case, and it's just some stupid shit that I thought of as some fun discussion with y'all, the community. So let's actually get into this. Now, the him referred to in those lines could be Alvis, but wait for it, the more jokey and dumbass idea, it could actually be Zanza. Okay, now I know what you're about to say, and just hear me out. Now you might be saying, "Oh, but Paragon of Torna, pot, Zanza is dead, you fucking dumbass." And while I won't deny that I am a dumbass, Zanza may not actually be as dead as hell as we thought.
Spoilers for Xenoblade The One Chronicles.
If you remember, Zanza was basically using Shulk as a vessel and lay dormant in him for damn near his whole life. Even though Zanza left Shulk and materialized his own body, Shulk could still retain some of Zanza's DNA, if you think about it. If that's the case, and if the theories that Noah is related to Shulk are true, then Noah could have a sliver of Zanza's DNA. I know that sounds absolutely preposterous, astronomical, so fucking dumb, right? But just listen for a second, okay? Listen, goddammit, listen. Although Zanza regained his true power after Dixon mortally wounded Shulk, Shulk was ultimately still a god. Shulk gained godhood from Zanza, Haru the Monado. So, that godhood could be hereditary, and Noah could have gained some of it, and he basically has a sliver of Zanza DNA in him through Shulk. And this little bit of Zanza could have grown somehow and could have grown strong enough to influence Noah to do some evil shit or something. Now, say if I wasn't a complete troglodyte and this was actually the case, then Zanza could be influencing Noah at certain times to do his bidding. This isn't actually anything new since it happened to Shulk already.
There are two versions of me. One of them is saying that. It's telling me, listen to what Dunban said.
What about the other one?
It keeps shouting, make them pay, destroy every single one of them, and it won't stop getting louder.
That doesn't sound like you. Sure it ain't my voice in there.
This second version was Zanza telling Shulk to go and murk Egil. Just off him. Zanza could be doing this to Noah, and Lance notices this behavior over time and learns about Zanza. The story of Zanza and how he was this god and was brought down by Shulk could have been passed down by Shulk, or maybe Melia, since she seems to be the only original party member left alive that we actually saw in the trailer. If this is true, then the story of Zanza is known by many, and Lance has had first-hand experience with this, and he refuses to believe that Noah is Zanza. Tyon could also have seen this happening to Noah and realized what's really happening. With Tyon being a tactician, he's very intelligent and observant. He realizes that the curse of Zanza could be being reborn despite it already vanishing. However that works. He tries telling Uni that Noah and Lance are...
They're not your friends anymore! They're his feud!
Just as the Telethia and all life return to the Bionis to keep Zanza alive. Almost as fuel in a sense. So Zanza could be using Noah as a vessel as he did Shulk. Now, this part has a bit of evidence. I don't even know if you can call it evidence, but even then it's still a stretch. But the emblem on the 3 is reminiscent of Zanza's wings. Remember in the titles, the title, the 3 has that little emblem on it. It kind of resembles and is reminiscent of Zanza's wings. Now, the patterns don't match up exactly, but if you look at both, just look at the 3. I mean, does it not remind you of Zanza's wings in some kind of way? But that's about only the hard evidence I have for the Zanza theory, is just the 3 emblem. But now that that stupid shit's out the way, we can finally get back to what this video was mainly about. Our main boy, Alvis. Unlike Zanza's arrogant ass, Alvis isn't dead and he's just still out there somewhere. After Shulk wished for a world without the need for gods, Alvis kind of just pulled a Bana and just dipped out of there. He's just gone. However, you shouldn't go unnoticed that Alvis has played a crucial role in Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2, so who's to say he won't return in Xenoblade 3? In Xenoblade 1, he was literally the Monado and was basically the true ruler of the Xenoblade 1 dimension. And in Xenoblade 2, he was one of the Trinity processor cores created to facilitate and monitor the power of the Zohar. As a side note, when I say Zohar, I'm talking about the conduit. The Zohar is basically the conduit, but in Xenosaga. So if you think about it, the conduit is just basically the Xenoblade version of the Zohar. But the idea of the conduit came from the Zohar, so I'm just going to be calling Zohar from now on for simplicity's sake. So whenever I say Zohar, I'm talking about the conduit.
Alright, you got that? Okay, so let's keep going.
When Klaus used the Zohar to reset the universe, Alvis, or Ontos, along with Galea, Maineth, and half of Klaus, Zanza, were sent into what would become the Xenoblade 1 universe. Alvis provided the materials needed to create that dimension and basically gave Zanza and Maineth the godhoods. Now I might be wrong on that. I don't remember if he gave them permitted them godhood, or I'm pretty sure he just granted them the status of gods. Correct me on that if I'm wrong, but from what I remember, that's what happened. And so Alvis has been a very massive and important character to the Xenoblade series, so who's to say that he won't return in Xenoblade 3? And yes, while he may not play a role in X is less connected to 1 and 2 than 1 and 2 are to each other. And Xenoblade 3 seems to be just mainly focused on 1 and 2. Although X is an incredible game that you should go and play. I'm pretty sure Monolith just kind of wants to forget about it. We still don't have a port to the Switch. Nothing about an X2. Just nothing. They just forgot about X. No love for X. But in all seriousness, Alvis is a major important plot point in the Xenoblade series. So there's a very good chance he might be returning in Xenoblade 3. Actually, you know what? No, fuck that. Alvis is in Xenoblade X, and I'm going to spur a little X theory right here, right now. X theory in a Xenoblade 3 theory video that's called diversity. So y'all know at the end of X, massive fucking cliffhanger. Oh, the life hold is absolutely demolished, but everyone's still alive. The life hold core is absolutely destroyed, so they should all be dead, but they're not. And Elma claims that, oh, it's something about this planet. So that's making us think that there's going to be a sequel. But no evidence, of course, because it's me we're talking about. Of course, I have no evidence. But either Alvis is there on Mira, and another little theory that I'll say for another video, Ionios or Xenoblade 3 takes place on Mira, like years in the past before Xenoblade X, but that's a different video. But Alvis or even the Zohar could be like buried deep in Mira, and the Zohar could be used, its power could be being used by maybe Alvis to like act as the life hold core and keep everyone alive. This is fucking insane. It sounds dumb as shit, and that's because it is, but I just thought of that and I kind of got excited about it. But I'm getting sidetracked, so let's get back to the actual Xenoblade 3 theories. Many X rant aside, Alvis could be the third higher power or nation and be the reason why Kevis and Agnes are actually at war. And he could actually have gone rogue and caused turmoil between the two nations in some way. I don't know. I'm just here to speculate. I'm not the one to like come up with elaborate theories. Leave that up to Luxon. He can handle that. I don't have enough brain capacity for all that. But another dumb theory that I had, I mean, this is the dumbest one I've had yet, is that Alvis, Maynith, and Zanza would all return. Now, the whole Xenoblade 1 gods coming back. And my headcanon was that Zanza would represent Agnes because they're proficient in ether, the biological matter that makes up the world, ether, and the Bionis was a biological body made of ether, and the Bionis was whitish, and when Zanza was in his true body, his outfit was kind of basically just white, so that matches with Agnes. And then Maynith would represent Kevis because they're mostly mech based, and Maynith controlled the Mechanis, and the Mechanis was dark colored, and Maynith had dark clothes on, you know what I'm trying to say. And Alvis would just be that third nation representing, or he could be representing third nation somehow, or he would just be the overseer of Ionios like he was in Xenoblade 1. I don't know. This is easily disproven though, because if Zanza does reside in Noah, then he can't represent Agnes, since Noah is a soldier of Kevis, which is at war with Agnes. So I just throws the whole thing out. And I also doubt Takahashi would just do the whole Xenoblade 1 story again, but just in a different way, considering Xenoblade 3, this is his chance to like actually make this big overarching multi-universe, I guess, Xeno game that he's been wanting to make for so long. So I doubt he's gonna retell any of the stories from the Xenoblade games. It's gonna be completely new. Now, okay, see, originally I had planned on just making one big video of all these different little theories and speculations that I had. But then when I actually started thinking about this one, I realized, holy shit, this could actually be long enough to be its own video. So I'm making it its own video, and my other speculation videos are gonna have to be their own videos. But this video took a hell of a lot longer than I thought it would. But to summarize, the he that was mentioned in the trailer could be Alvis, Zanza, or some ruler of a third nation, with the emblem on the 3 in the title represents, as the emblem plays some sort of major role in the story. So I mean, it's right there in the title, so obviously, I mean, they wouldn't just show us one, like an emblem of Kevis or Agnes without the other. So that symbol obviously means something. Could be that of a third nation, or symbol of an officer like Mio and Noah. I don't know, but nobody really knows except Takahashi and his team. But again, this was just my dumbass speculating on the game without really any concrete evidence. Just something I thought of and figured it'd be cool to see if this happened, and just thought it'd be cool to see what the community thought of it. And I have 2 or 3 more parts of the Nia only Bring of Chaos challenge run, which is kind of bullshit, by the way. That's a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be. But I'm not even at Ion yet. Ion's gonna be the hardest part. This probably gonna take the longest. Goddamn. But after I finish that, I got like 2 or 3 more parts. Then I can finally start my blind first ever playthrough of Xenosaga. I've been waiting so long to play Xenosaga, and I'll finally be able to do it with y'all. But I'm still going to sprinkle in some Xenoblade 3 videos if I have any more degenerate ideas. And when obviously new trailers drop, I'm going to be doing analyses on that. But my channel has been growing massively from that initial analysis trailer. So I just want to say thank you all so much for the continued support and putting up with my dumbass and coming to watch my low quality, lazy content. But right now I'm on a daily upload grind until Xenoblade 3 drops. So hopefully that'll blow me up and I can keep up this daily upload schedule until it drops. And I want to bring y'all along for the ride with me. My goal is to hit at least 400 subscribers by the end of this year. So I'm on a steady increase right now. So hopefully I can hit, hell, maybe even 300 before Xenoblade 3 drops. The big 3 for the big 3. The big 300 for the big 3 release. But this video's been going on for long enough. So, as always, thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a damn good day. Be well. And play some goddamn Xenoblade.